Breaking news. Minister has shares in Trinbago's head office, Minister of Tourism, Culture and the Arts. Randall Mitchell confirms he has an interest in the building that houses Trinbago headquarters at number 55 Don Donald Street in Port of Spain. He said, "I have an interest in the company that owns the property, but that company does not collect rent from Trinbago." Mitchell was contacted on Thursday after the matter was raised during a meeting of delegates at the VIP lounge of the Queen's Park Savannah on Sunday. Trinbago President Beverly Ramsey Moore admitted at the meeting that Mitchell was a shareholder in its headquarters. Ramsey Moore was asked from the floor if Mitchell had an interest in its new headquarters that Trinbago move into about July 2023. She said she did not see any fallout, and the rental of the building of about $50,000 was paid to a property manager, saying, Trinbago doesn't have a lease by anyone with the name of Randall Mitchell. Mitchell said he was not instrumental in getting Trinbago to rent the property. He said, the company that owns the property was approached by a tenant to enter a lease agreement. That tenant made renovations and subsequently sought a subtenant through an estate agent to occupy a vacant portion of the property. Trinbago presumably responded to the posted notice, and the tenant subsequently entered into negotiations and later subleased the property to Trinbago. Asked if he spoke to Ramsey Moore before the property was rented, Mitchell replied, "Yes." When the tenant advised the company of their intention to enter into the agreement to underlet part of the property to Trinbago, I contacted the president to declare my interest in the property and inquired of her whether there were any alternative options that would be equally suitable for the organization. The minister said he did not see the rental as a conflict of interest. Mitchell said, Trinbago is a private body incorporated by Parliament. It is a special interest group which has a reporting relationship with NCC from which it receives funding for carnival events. Trinbago does not report to the me/minister, nor is it obligated to report to the me/minister. Trinbago does not pay me or the company that I have an interest in any rent. The obligations under the lease allowed for the underletting of the property. I played no part in the decision to sublet to Trinbago. At the meeting, Ramsey Moore said, "We have never paid money to anyone by the name of Randall Mitchell." She said Trinbago was cramped for space at Victoria Avenue in a place she referred to as the Amar Building, where they were paying about $5,000 in rent and was evicted. The Trinbago president said they then moved into a building owned by attorney Israel Khan and was paying a monthly rental of about $15,000. She said the Khan wanted to raise his rent to $20,000 and Trinbago then looked for new facilities. Ramsey Moore said, "Building falling apart after COVID, we just had to get out and we went searching for a building." She said one day information came to us and they called the number and spoke to the property manager and made arrangement to move into the building at Don Donald Street. Ramsey Moore said Trinbago pay $50,000 in rental for the building and an additional $20,000 for the car park. She described the new head office as a comfortable space where bands can come in and have activities to raise funds. Ramsey Moore said she did not see the minister's alleged shareholding as a conflict of interest. She said, "What you are telling me, if any one of you have any kind of business, we're not allowed to support you because it is a conflict of interest. But if you have a restaurant and you decide to have a brunch and we come by you to eat, they say Allier watch they favoring, and they this and they that and they next. If you have a business and we can't do business with you because you are a member, then something wrong." She said it was something that Mitchell mentioned to her. Ramsey Moore said, "That is not something that you should broadcast to the whole world." She said, "The fact is the minister mentioned that to me and I told him just like that. When we are moving out because we had already started the work. I do not see this as a conflict of interest at all because we pay our rent. Government doesn't pay Trinbago a subvention. We do not receive a subvention from government for administrative fees to say, well, all right, government giving us expenses for expensive administrative fees, so we write our own checks to Gajatter or LMG property managers, and they're the people we are dealing with. So I do not see any conflict of interest at all unless people want to put a spin on it to make bacchanal. Just like they making with Al Rawi name. Trinbago has no ties to the government. If we want to take on government in the morning in the streets, we can do that. We are a social force. We are a community-based organization. We are an NGO. We are a non-profit organization. Beverly Ramsey Moore said, if after we found out because the minister didn't hide it. He called when the property managers told him who was occupying. He informed me that he had a share in the building and I said I don't care about that. We want a place to go. If we didn't go there, where would we have been today? It was no secret. There is no secret, it's a building. There were other people there. There are people who knew that building that he is a shareholder. Of course people know, so it was not a hide-and-seek whatever. If anything should come to the fore as you are thinking there is conflict of interest. There is no conflict of interest because government does not pay our salary. Government only give money for carnival to Trinbago. Get it straight, we are not governmental, and when they give money it is because we execute a product, a component of the carnival. After that is catch ours. After that we have to find ways and means. Ramsey Moore said at the meeting, that is not something that you should broadcast to the whole world.